There's a new name in the global snacking industry today, Mondelēz International. That's the new name for Kraft Foods after the company spun off its North American grocery business. Mondelēz International President for Europe, Tim Kofer, joins us now from Zurich. Mr. Kofer, thank you for joining us. Now, Mondelēz is taking many of the top brands such as Oreos, Cadbury, Philadelphia under one umbrella. What's the strategy here?
Yeah, good morning. The strategic and financial sense to the split of Kraft Foods is quite compelling. And as you said, the Mondelēz International arm, which will include all of us here in Europe, is focusing purely on snacking. And it's in the core categories of chocolate, of biscuit, gum and candy, coffee, categories that are faster growing, and categories, as you said, where we have strong leadership positions with iconic brands like Cadbury and Milka, Kenco and Philadelphia. So it is about focusing on what we do best. And for Mondelēz, it's global snacking.
Okay, now many of these brands, I imagine the production is spread in various parts of the world. Are there plans to streamline that production?
Well, of course, we always look at opportunities to tighten our belt and to be sure that our cost structure is right to support the type of growth plans that we have. But I can tell you we feel very good about our portfolio today. We feel very good about our organization today. We think we've got what it takes to win, even in these challenging economic times.
I'll come to those challenging economic times in a second, but I just want to ask you on the name Mondelēz. You say in your press release it evokes the idea of a world of delicious products. Why did you drop the name Kraft, which is a worldwide respected and well-known brand?
Absolutely. Yeah, we decided to have the name Kraft go with the North American grocery company. Indeed, in North America, the US and Canada, Kraft is on the majority of that portfolio, and so it really fits better there. Whereas for us, on Mondelēz International, we wanted to create a new name that was could be a house of brands of our corporate identity. And it was actually two of our employees that came up with this name, Mondelēz International. Mond, meaning world, Latin for world, and Delēz was a fanciful expression of delicious, evoking that delicious world we're trying to create.
Okay, if I can ask you, how much did you pay your branding consultants for that one?
Well, that's a good question. As I mentioned, it's actually two of our employees that came up with this name. So you can imagine that we paid them simply in terms of point of pride.
So you saved quite a lot of costs there. Fantastic. Now, going back to the challenging economic times that you mentioned, you think demand will continue to rise, but where is that optimism based, given that Europe especially is in recession?
Absolutely. I mean, these are challenging economic times for us, particularly right here in Europe. But I do feel good about our growth prospects. And it's predicated, first of all, on the fact that our business is all in these snacking categories. What we're seeing is a growing trend towards snacking. And so we're seeing these categories growing much faster than core center of the store, more grocery and meal type categories. So for starters, we're in the good categories. On top of that, the strength of our portfolio with the iconic brands like Cadbury, like Oreo, like Lou Biscuit, etc., give us real leverage in the marketplace to continue to invest in strong innovation, equity building programs, and I think that is a robust formula for continued growth. In the front half of this year, even in these challenging economic times, we at Mondelēz Europe grew organic revenue 4.2%. And I think, as you know, when you stack that up against food and beverage peers, it's pretty strong growth.
Indeed, but next year is shaping up to be quite a tricky year. And to maintain margins, you may have to do one of two things. Either lower prices, that may be unpalatable to you, or cut costs.
Well, certainly, as I said before, I mean, agri-commodities are a core input to our total cost structure. And indeed, it's quite volatile. And the strength of our equities, I think, have shown that we do have the ability to price in order to maintain that cost structure. And to your other point, indeed, we're always going to look at opportunities to tighten our belt. But the fundamental growth story, predicated on these snacking categories and our leadership positions, again, I think is quite sound.
Just to finish up, margins are also under pressure from rising commodity prices and input prices. There may be a third option here for you, smaller products. For example, smaller chocolate bars, but selling at the same price.
Absolutely. You know, we look at the full range of what we call our price size architecture offering within all the categories in which we compete. And indeed, we will offer products, for example, in our gum business, as low as 10 euro cents on the continent for some of their favorite pieces of gum. But at Mondelēz International, we're more focused on value, delivering consumers the value that they want. And it's about benefits at a price that create value. We're certainly seeing some growth at the lower end price points, as you mentioned. We're also seeing robust growth at the higher end. An example in the UK would be our Belvita breakfast biscuit launch. This is a more premium priced biscuit, and yet it's a $200 million platform across Europe, and it's growing 18% versus prior year, even in these challenging times.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much. My thanks there to Tim Cofer, Mondelēz International President for Europe. That's all from us for now. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.